All right, folks. And now it's time for...
Mount Washington Moment.
The Cold War and Mount Washington. In the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, the shadow of uneasy relations between the United States and the Soviet Union was cast on many places, including on Mount Washington. If a conflict had occurred between the two nations, the terrain that lay between them to the north was barren, cold, windy, icy, snowy, much like the upper reaches of the mountain. The U.S. Navy, Army, and Air Force realized that the mountain can serve as a great natural laboratory for testing such then-new technologies as jet engines and helicopters to assess their performance in environmental conditions that would mimic those of a potential battleground. And so a major research colony was constructed on Mount Washington. A helicopter landing pad, a cavernous jet engine testing structure, a large barracks for the military and civilian personnel who staffed the experiments. All were built high up on the mountain. A jet aircraft was even towed up the mountain for testing. Atmospheric icing and its impact on aviation was a major focus of research, but even items such as remote weather stations and soldiers' clothing were tested on the mountain. Today, little remains of what was once a substantial summit research infrastructure. Tests of the type that were done on Mount Washington might now be done in large wind and icing tunnels or in Alaska, but the mountain's historic place in such important research remains. Tonight's Mount Washington Moment was brought to you by the Wentworth Hotel in Jackson.
Dr. Peter Crane.